Hello and welcome to this month's Better Business webinar, where we're going to be looking at changing the numbers, by which I mean instead of just looking at the numbers historically, that we start to look forward and see how we can change those numbers for our clients, help them to grow their business or whatever it takes. Now, I'm going to mention at the beginning, this is changing the numbers, how to check the exact title, how to deliver advisory services for success. For success means for your success and for your client's success. So done the pitch on that. There's, like all my books, it's very much a how-to book. So I'm going to talk about today about what is advisory, because we're all told that we need to be we need to be compliance is dead, and that we need to be moving to advisory. Well, frankly, I'm not convinced about that. Yes, AI, yes, technology are going to do some of the bottom end of it, and frankly, if you're not looking into it, then you should be, because we're not going to lose our jobs to AI. We're going to lose our jobs. Accountants who don't use AI will lose their jobs to accountants who do use AI. I've blogged on the limitations of AI, its tendency to hallucinate. When it gave a brilliant summary of a talk that I gave at DAS, the Digital Accountancy Show, except that I wasn't speaking at that event at all. So it does hallucinate. You need to be aware of the limitations, but we should also be adopting it wherever it's appropriate. So we're all focused on MTD, making tax digital, but advisory is the carrot of the MTD stick. So once we've got our clients doing regular bookkeeping, because bookkeeping is the key to to keeping up with MTD. So we need proper bookkeeping on decent software. If it's cloud-based, we then get to be able to go in to interrogate up-to-date numbers and to know the exact situation. So yes, we've got the conversations with clients, but we've also got access to their numbers. And if we're doing the bookkeeping, then we are able to spot opportunities for helping our clients. Now, I'm not going to say that they're all going to result in extra money, but basically helping your clients. If it's not getting you extra money, it's getting you brownie points. So that gets you stickability, that gets you clients staying with you and referring you elsewhere. Oh, sorry, I forgot the introduction. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Della Hudson. I'm the founder of 2 accountancy practices, the mother of 2. I used to say mother of 2 teens, but my youngest just turned 20 at the weekend. I'm the author of 3 books, 2 of which are for accountants, and I've been in the past voted Accountancy Age's top 50 women in finance, Ignition's top 50 women in accountancy, and whatever else. But what I really enjoy doing is helping accountants to build the business they first dreamed of. Don't know about you, but I started off my business wanting it to do certain things, and of course then you hit the harsh reality. And so I help accountants and bookkeepers to get out of that, and other business owners as well, which is a hangover from the accountancy days. So I run Minerva Accountants, my second accountancy practice. I run Hudson Business Advice, and we also have a tiny little fintech, Minerva Technology. And I'm, in my volunteering roles, I'm on the Institute of Chartered Accountants Global Council, and I'm currently chair of the local West of England network, because I don't have enough else to do. Anyway, I want you to get to the stage in your business where you're able to help your clients and still have time to give back. So we're looking at, we have this advisory stick, advisory carrot. These are the benefits, the way that we can really help our clients, other than just filling in forms. So we have different levels of advisory, and this is part of the problem. We don't have a clear definition of what is advisory. So we've got some firms who are pure compliance. That's absolutely fine. If you don't want to do advisory work, don't. It's your business. You can choose. But what I would say is that team up with a business coach or an accountant who does offer advisory services. I'm quite happy to have a chat with you. And we can then, you can make sure that your clients are looked after, even if that's not by you. At the other end of the scale, we have full advisory, which is much more of a consultancy. You do the accounts, but it's all about helping the business to grow, more like an internal finance director and things like that. Well, it depends on the finance director. Some of them are just into the numbers. Others can actually offer useful advice. And then I think most people sit around that compliance plus bit where you are pretty much compliance, but you spot a few things and you give your clients a bit of ad hoc advice and probably don't get paid for it. But as I said before, that's the brownie points where you get that you run a better accountancy practice for giving a little bit of advice. And then there's a lot in the middle where some of it's paid, some is not. And of course, we all want to get paid for the advice that we offer. So let's see how we can go about that. So we use our advisory to get results. We start off with the historic data. We've got tons of historic data. We're accountants. We've got all this stuff. So look at your historic data, analyze it. Now you can do that yourself, just looking at it, or you can use some of the other software that helps to flag things. So Xero has insights, all sorts of software now has insights that you can use. Xero has insights, Capitalize has insights, Center has insights. They all do all sorts of things, and there are loads more out there. Or you can do your own analysis, however you like. And then we do the really valuable thing. We interpret it. Now, the software only used to do the analysis. Now they've all got lots of AI add-ons that will help you to interpret it. Take it with a pinch of salt, as I've said. But this starts to be really useful now. And so again, AI is able to help us to do more. And then we come up with the advice. And then we go back to accountant mode. And we forecast what will happen to their sales, their profits, their cash flow, their business value, whatever, if they implement this advice. And there might be a few options, so we could do a few what-if scenarios. And then we help the client to come up with their list of actions. So I'm also a qualified business coach, which really helps me to do this. But I was doing it before I sort of did the coaching qualification, and you may be able to do that. You might want to take a coaching course yourself. So the important thing is the client needs to take the action, and we can help them to put together that action list, and then we measure the results of that. Now, your historic data probably comes out of your something like Xero. And if you want some sneaky software that will actually help you to do all this, I would say Clarity HQ. It tags onto Xero, onto QuickBooks Online, onto Sage. And if you don't have those, then you can just plonk your numbers into a spreadsheet and upload it. But it's a lot easier if you can do it with the live data. That will analyze it. It pulls out 7 key indicators to be looking at, which will help with profitability, with efficiency, and with growth. It's got its own AI add-in that helps you with that. So either do it with what you've got or look at Clarity HQ, depending how comfortable you feel. The other reason for using Clarity is if you're already offering business advice and it's just the partner who can do it, with the appropriate software, you can get an accountant who's been around the block can use that and just use that. I said they've been around the block so that they know how to present the advice that comes out, and just make sure the AI isn't coming up with nonsense. Now, a lot of accountants claim to give advice, but to me, it's either tax advice or how to get funding. So they're the key ones. They're the things that accountants have been doing forever. But I go into the book I've got, and we've got the one half is on how to provide the advisory services, and the other one is what types of advice you can give. And you either can give this yourself or you can team up with somebody else who can do it for you. You don't have to be the expert. So we've got strategy, we've got pricing, wealth management, which is teaming up with an IFA unless you have to be regulated yourself, technology, legal, usually teaming up with a solicitor, marketing, sales, credit control, all these other things that you look at. Now, you can deliver advice in lots of different ways. So that might be pitching yourself as a virtual FD, being part of their advisory board, non-exec, or it might just be you're an accountant with an add-on. So we come up with building blocks of advice on all those things. And it starts with just listen to the questions that are being asked. And then we would often write a help sheet. A lot of the stuff that I produce is online, is based on questions that clients have asked me, whether it's my accounting bookkeeping clients or whether it's my Minerva accountants clients. So let's look at the questions they ask. So it might be a case of putting together a simple help sheet. So somebody asked me a question, if I think I'm going to be asked it a second time, so I think we've got a help sheet on that. And whether we do or we don't, we produce one and send one out to the client. And I have allow my team to produce those as well if they've got the answer to something. So they're always there. So we're able to do that quick, easy advice. And because you've got the thing ready, then you look as though you do this all the time. So it's not just a one-off type of thing. I do them as written help sheets. Other people do them as help videos. So choose how you like to do it. There's not one size fits all. So I prefer to read and write, others prefer to speak and hopefully listen. So we've got those, and then we build those up into all sorts of things. So they'll go out as blogs. So I'm now reusing that. But eventually you have enough to sort of pin together, to put together whole modules. You can put together a book, a white paper, a course, an online course or a face-to-face course. And this is how we started. We did our Money Matters events, where we originally had hotel venues, and then we got big enough offices that we could invite clients in and speak to them in our own offices. That saved a fortune, and we can run the events more often. So I would do a 20-minute talk on a business growth topic, and I'd have somebody else, a marketing person or an HR or legal person, to do a 20-minute talk on something else. And we do a bit of networking before, quick changeover in between, and then more networking at the end. And so we've moved those online as our Minerva Money Matters. The strapline being Money Matters because it does, which obviously didn't come from me. I have no sense of humour. I'm an accountant. So we put together the building blocks of advice. When you're talking to your clients, they come with a problem, and it's they don't have enough time, so we need to talk to them about reviewing their pricing to make sure that they're pricing enough to cover whatever they're doing. Or we might need to look at technology, which will help them to improve your time. But basically, everything that you do to improve your efficiency will either you use the efficiency gains to have a better work-life balance, you use the efficiency gains in order to scale, use the efficiency gains by taking yourself out of the equation, which makes your business more saleable. So we pieced together these blocks of advice. So just if you want lots of stuff, read the Numbers Business or Growing by Numbers. There's all sorts of advice in there. Please feel free to take it and add your own spin on it. Please don't just come out with, repeat what I've said. I'm not that perfect. So please take it, put your own spin on it, and help your clients that way. But above all, you should be modeling your own advice. You should have your pricing sorted. You should have your ideal type of work that's profitable and pleasurable. You should be working for your ideal clients. You should have a good team that works together and is greater than the sum of its parts. Yes, you need all the legal stuff, the formalities in place. Hopefully you've already got that. Accountants tend to be quite good on that, but make sure everything's up to date. And then we want to look at the systems that we've got, and it's not just the technology, it's all the systems built around that. So make sure they are efficient and that we're delegating where appropriate and just managing our time in particular, but also those in our business. It's a lot to take in. As you can tell, I am really passionate about accountants and bookkeepers. Bookkeepers can do this too. Offering business advice. I've given you some tools to help you. I got lots more information in the book on how to do it. And we are then able to offer a much more valuable thing. So with people don't see the value, particularly in compliance work. So cost is a bigger factor, whereas if you're providing valuable advice that helps them to grow their business significantly, increase their profits significantly, even if they pay a little bit more tax, then everybody wins. So we're able to charge a much more valuable fee because we are actually providing value. And I don't know about you, but I get a lot more enjoyment out of adding value rather than just filling in forms for the taxman. So you've got more information available there. You've got the please just sign up for the top tips. They're free. Go for it. A little cheap thing, changing the numbers, and we do have some online courses coming soon, but the book will help you get started. So take care. See you soon. Bye.